Hi, welcome to NoLab. It is the final month of the year, and as 2024 comes to a close, December is bringing us some of the games that are left in the storage. Of course, the Game Awards are coming pretty soon. That's where all the new games are going to be announced, and I'll be watching live, so subscribe now. But let's return to the topic, and let's dive into the biggest game releasing this December. Please enjoy.
Salvation without sacrifice.
The long-awaited sequel to Path of Exile is finally here, taking the ARPG formula to the next level. Path of Exile 2 offers a brand new campaign with overhauled graphics and expanded skill gem system. The new gameplay adds a lot of depth while maintaining the same atmosphere as we used to in the first Path of Exile, with possibly 24 unique Ascendancy class, which mean more builds and endless customization. The new gem system is also making it easier to experiment since it is now directly tied with the weapons and armor. Path of Exile 2 isn't just a sequel, it is a bold step forward for the ARPG genre. With its new expansive campaign, innovative mechanics and upgraded visual, it delivers an experience that feels fresh yet familiar. Whether you are a veteran player or looking for a new adventure, Path of Exile 2 offers endless hours of content and customization. And I cannot wait to jump in hundreds of hours of mine to the game really soon, since it is coming on December 6, 2024 for PlayStation 5, Xbox X and S, and PC. Next, we're gonna talk about Delta Force. This is the first-person shooters that emphasize strategy and teamwork. If you played Battlefield before, this could be the closest one we got. The game introduced large-scale battles, extensive customization, and next-gen visual, making it one standout in the modern FPS nowadays. The gameplay of Delta Force contains 3 different modes, including campaign mode where you play a cinematic story that puts you in the various operatives from Delta Force unit. For now, we have 7 operators available in the release. Then we got multiplayer modes. Competitive multiplayer includes large-scale battles with up to 64 players, and there are modes like Team Deathmatch, Domination, and Search and Destroy. The last mode is Co-op Operation, where you can join up to 3 friends in a cooperative mission. Overall, the game is impressive since I've tried the alpha test before and it's actually so fun, mostly if you have friends to play with. And if you are looking for a new Battlefield or just another FPS to play with your friends, go check out Delta Force Open Beta on December 5th, 2024 for PC. Infinity Nikki is an open-world dress-up adventure game developed by Paper Games. It is the 5th game in the Nikki franchise, but takes a bold step away from the traditional mobile-centric dress-up formula. This time, it is a full-fledged adventure with seamless open-world exploration. And clothing is not just cosmetic, it grants unique abilities like gliding, swimming, or shrinking to access hidden areas, so fashion is integral to the gameplay. The story follows Nikki on a heartfelt journey filled with whimsy and mystery. Along the way, you will meet new characters, each with their own unique backstory and connection to the world. I think Infinity Nikki is an ambitious and well-polished game with exploration and puzzle-solving aspect. It successfully reimagined the Nikki franchise for a broader audience, bringing its fashion-first gameplay into a rich, open world. Whether you are a long-time fan of the series or new to the Nikki adventures, there is something special about the way this game stands out among others. And once again, I would say its vibrant open world is a strong reason to try the game. The game is coming on December 5th, 2024 for PlayStation, PC, and mobile.
I really don't know. All I can remember is my own name. I'll find some way to get my memories back on my own if I have.
Fantasian Neo Dimension is a both sequel and reimagining of the original Fantasian. The game promises an emotional tale wrapped in classic JRPG mechanics. It also expands the original's unique diorama aesthetic and delivers a better visual experience with modern graphics. Of course, the turn-based combat is returning to the sequel, but with improvement like you can gather enemies into pocket dimension to fight them later on. There is a new combo system and tactical option too. You can also pick dual class and blend the abilities for highly customization build. Overall, the Fantasian Neo Dimension is a beautiful JRPG with classic gameplay, a huge comeback for the fans of the genre. And if you want to play the game, it is coming pretty soon on December 5th, 2024 for PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Switch.
Wearing a hat. But here I am. It's been a dream come true. A dream that I cannot wait for you to live for yourselves.
Finally, Bethesda released something new this year. This is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, an action-adventure game that blends cinematic storytelling with exploration, combat, and of course, puzzle solving, since it is an Indiana Jones game. The story sets in the late 1940s. The new journey takes him on a quest to uncover the secrets of the mysterious Great Circle, a powerful artifact steeped in ancient mythology. You will journey through diverse locations, including dense jungle, desert, and icy mountaintops. Each area is purposely designed with hidden paths, ancient ruins, and environmental hazards. There is a combat system in the game with hand-to-hand combat, iconic Indiana Jones whip, and guns to encounter the Nazis antagonists. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is a great adventure game that feels familiar for those who grew up back in the 90s, and Bethesda has delivered a game that feels both nostalgic and modern, blending cinematic storytelling with engaging gameplay. If I'm not mistaken, Indiana Jones the Great Circle has 4 hours cutscene, so prepare to watch a long adventure if you decide to dive into the game. If you are huge fans of Indiana Jones and you miss the good old days when the indie was still relevant, this game might be a good choice for your Christmas. Since it is coming on December 9, 2024 for Xbox X and S and PC, and early 2025 for PlayStation 5.
Hold on to your hat.
Alien Rogue Incursion is a first-person VR survival horror game set in the aftermath of catastrophic xenomorph outbreak on the space station. Your job is to survive while unraveling the station's dark secret. The game focuses on atmospheric tension, resource management, and non-linear level design, and the game channels the same horrifying experience that made the Alien franchise a cultural phenomenon. The game emphasizes limited resource. You will scavenge for ammo, crafting tools, and patch up injuries with what little you can find while trying to avoid becoming xenomorph bait. Playing stealth is a key, so you might have to hold your gunfire since it draws unwanted attention not only from the aliens but desperate human survivors. There is difficulty scaling you can customize, mostly if you are new to survival games, or you can try the permadeath mode if you are hardcore fans. This mode adds an extra layer of challenge with less room for mistakes. I think nowadays VR games have started to get to the level that surprised me, since they can deliver a survival horror experience that captures a realistic feeling through your own POV. By the way, Alien Rogue Incursion is coming on December 19, 2024 for PlayStation VR, PC, and early 2025 for MetaQuest 3.
Feels like we've been waiting forever, and finally, the moment has come.
We got a new challenger in football game. UFL is a new football game which not only free to play but also fair to play. Which is surprising since football games are often dominated by microtransactions. That's a bold statement they announced for the game. This game emphasizes player skill, strategy gameplay, and balance mechanic, making it an appealing option for the football enthusiast. Since this is back to its roots, where your team building is skill-based, not determined by how much money you spend, feels like a huge jab to EA monetization model. Another thing they mention is how they value realism and player controls, which means smooth and responsive control for a player to pull off precise pass, dribbles, and accurate shots. Whether you are experienced or newcomer, everyone has their learning curves. UFL making an exciting shift in football genre, offering an alternative to the big games like FC without any pay-to-win system, which felt like an impossible challenge, but since the game was making a huge step, they even have Cristiano Ronaldo and others funding the game. Maybe we finally have a true competitor to the predatory football game in the market. The game is scheduled for release to the public on December 5th, 2024 for PlayStation 5, Xbox X and S, and 2025 for PC.
Unbelievable game is always here.
Spirit of Samurai is a game set in a world where the line between living and the dead blurs. You play as a wandering ronin seeking redemption while unraveling a mystery tied to the spirit realm. You can explore a world alive with Japanese mythology and folklore and battle against yokai, undead, and demons, all expertly rendered in stop-motion style. And I would say the stop-motion combat looks pretty clean, and it's the unique aspect of the game besides character design and their cinematics. If you like the Metroidvania genre with a heavy emphasis on action-adventure, Spirit of Samurai is the game worth trying this month, since the game is going to be released on December 12, 2024 for PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC.
Spirit of the forest was a witness and a part of it.
Skydance Behemoth is an original story set in the Forsaken Land, a fallen kingdom haunted by tragedy. This is a VR action-adventure game where you play as an outland warrior with the quest to end the curse that plagued yourself and your village. You are up against terrifying behemoths that dominate the landscape where you need to survive with their tactical combat, and once again, it is a VR, so battle POV is more immersive than usual gameplay. The unique part about the game is the combat seems to be better for VR, since you know how clunky VR could be, but the game has more freedom to block, dodge, or even counter with precision throughout the battle. On the other hand, this titanic encounter lets you climb the behemoth, finding weak points, and perform combos with weapons like sword, axe, etc. Skydance Behemoth is a bold and ambitious title that could redefine what is possible in VR, and looking at the gameplay, some battles, and how they perform combat in VR, it's once again one step forward to VR games. And I support the game since it reminds me of Skyrim but better in VR. Anyway, the game is coming on December 5th, 2024 for PlayStation VR 2 and MetaQuest.
Only monsters do.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one. Pick your hero.
Marvel's Rivals is a hero-based strategy game where players assemble a team of Marvel's most iconic characters and put them against each other in a dynamic arena-style battles. It is basically Overwatch with Marvel heroes assembled. It is an interesting fusion of action and tactics, requiring you to think strategically about your team composition while deliver fast-paced, skill-driven combat. Whether you are leading Iron Man or Doctor Strange into the battle, each hero brings a unique set of abilities, meaning there will be no two matches ever feel the same. I think if you like hero-based shooter or fast-paced combat multiplayer where you can play with your friends, Marvel Rivals could be one of the games you should play this December. The game is going to be released on December 6, 2024 for PlayStation 5, Xbox X and S, and PC. Marvel Rivals is a must-play for Marvel fans, and yes, that's including me. Okay, that's all the game we have for December. I know it's not the biggest month, but we still have a lot to try. And don't forget, the Game Awards are coming on December 12th, and we are going to watch it live. There will be a lot of games announced, and I cannot wait to see what's coming. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you won't miss out. Thank you very much for your time, give it a like if you liked the video, and I will see you again pretty soon. I wish you all the best, and stay no left, guys.